front of success hides a relaxing truth. The path to greatness is sometimes full of sacrifice and misery. What does it mean to become a legend, and what is the cost of that legacy? With his humorous and charismatic attitude, Ali caught the world's interest. Still, the price he paid for recognition eventually led to his terrible demise, a narrative that begs us to consider the duality of celebrity. Ali was more than just a warrior from the time he stepped into the boxing arena. He was a force of nature, a phenomenon whose every battle appeared scripted for history. With his swift feet and flashing tongue, he captivated viewers and transformed boxing into a great theatrical event. Each round was not just a test of talent, but also a demonstration of his unshaking will to confront injustices both inside and beyond the ring. His refusal to be inducted into the Vietnam War, as well as his strong statement, "I ain't got no quarrel with them Viet Cong," established him as a symbol of resistance, sparking debates about racism, peace, and personal integrity. However, as wonderful as this profession was, it came at a surprising cost. With each gloved fist, he absorbed hard realities, hammering punches that harmed both his physical and mental health. As the years passed, Ali's legend underwent the brutal transformation of time that the lively, perceptive icon was gradually caught by the tremors of Parkinson's disease. This disease, a direct result of the injuries sustained during his boxing career, softened the big voice that once boomed over the world. The man who had fought innumerable battles, both in the ring and in the area of approval, was now dealing with a personal conflict that left him vulnerable and disturbed. The demise of Muhammad Ali is more than just a gloomy narrative of a once great champion. It is also a devastating investigation of the hidden costs of celebrity. Each victory carries a cost, a careful balance of glory and sorrow. Ali's path serves as a strong reminder that, while the limelight is bright, it also leaves lengthy shadows, pieces of evidence to sacrifice, tenacity, and the complicated interaction between achievement and the human condition. Muhammad Ali, born Cassius Marcellus Clay, is celebrated not only as a boxing champion, but also as a cultural figure whose influence extends beyond the ring. Born on January 17, 1942, in Louisville, Kentucky, Ali grew up in a poor environment where his mother's strong beliefs and father's natural ability influenced his distinct individuality. His early interest in boxing began at the age of 12, when a stolen bike led him to a local gym where he met famed trainer Angelo Dundee. Ali's huge talent grew from that point forward, with speed and alertness that would eventually transform the heavyweight category. Ali's professional career took off once he won the heavyweight championship in 1964, defeating Sonny Liston, a fearsome champion famed for his power. Ali shocked the boxing world with his unusual style, which combined lightning speed, footwork, and an unparalleled ability to talk trash, engaging him to fans while frustrating his opponent. His well-known saying, "Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee," inspired his particular fighting technique, which emphasized quickness above physical strength. Unlike his opponent, who relied mostly on sheer power, Ali's style was much given to learning and thinking that he danced around his opponents, employing technique to deliver punches that viewer. Following his reinstatement in 1970, Ali returned to the sport with a vengeance. His first significant battle back was against the great Joe Frazier in 1971, which became known as the Fight of the Century. Frazier, who remained undefeated, posed a tough challenge. The fight lasted 15 rounds and challenged both contestants to their limits before Frazier won by mutual decision. This was more than just a boxing match. It was a cultural event that drew national attention and turned both boxers into divisive icons during a period of social confusion. Ali and Frazier's rivalry was one of the most emotional in sports history, with 3 major contests that demonstrated not only their boxing skill, but also their ideological differences. Their second meeting,
well for Ali that missed. Frazier has the man in the corner. 10 seconds with the loser. There it is.
Round is over.
Great fight.
They're going to show you that next.
9-6 for Frazier.
Frazier is the winner.
the Super Fight 2 in 1974 saw Ali retain his title, but the epic Thrilla in Manila in 1975 is widely regarded as their most famous fight. Each boxer tested the limits of human tolerance in Manila's blazing heat. After 14 devastating rounds, Frazier's camp called off the match, crowning Ali the winner. This trilogy of battles not only cemented Ali's status as a fighter, but also engraved Joe Frazier's name solidly in boxing history. The rivalry between Ali and Frazier was one of the most dramatic in sports history, featuring 3 major contests that, in addition to Frazier, Ali battled other boxing superstars, cementing his place as one of the all-time greats. His 1974 battle against George Foreman, known as the Rumble in the Jungle, was a strategic masterclass. Foreman, known for his knockout power, was strongly favored to win, however. Ali used a strategy he memorably named rope-a-dope. Ali saved his energy by allowing Foreman to fire wild punches while leaning against the ropes. He waited for the right opportunity to strike. In the 8th round, he landed a strong combination to knock down Foreman and reclaim the heavyweight belt. This fight not only showcased Ali's boxing intellect, but it also joined his legacy as a sports mastermind. Ali's career was characterized by his ability to adapt and overcome. He suffered a physical and mental decline in the late 1970s, but his battle with Ken Norton in 1973 demonstrated the spirit of his determination. Norton had previously defeated Ali in 1973, interrupting his 31-fight winning streak. Nevertheless, in their rematch, Ali regained form and won. This capacity to recover, learn from failure, and reassert supremacy distinguished him from many of his contemporaries. What truly set Ali apart was his charismatic personality. Ali defied the norm in an era when athletes were mainly expected to be humble. His knack for self-promotion and ability to interact with the media helped him become a household brand. Ali's charm extended beyond the ring. He was a poet who wrote poetry criticizing societal ill, and his aggressive attitude elevated him to the status of cultural icon rather than athlete. Phrases like "I am the greatest" became slogans that defined his personality, while also connecting with a youth craving empowerment and change. Despite his famous position, the constant attack of punches took a toll on his health, resulting in the start of Parkinson's disease, which would permanently impair his capacity to communicate. The sickness served as a harsh reminder of the high cost of athletic success. As he approached retirement, Ali's battle with health concerns shifted popular opinion of him. from champion boxer to figure of resilience in the face of hardship. As he fought his final struggle, not in the ring, but against a deadly sickness, the world watched, realizing that the man who once soared like a butterfly was now suffering from the consequences of a life lived in pursuit of greatness. Ali's collapse was not only physical, but also mental and emotional. He faced the unpleasant reality of watching competitors, many of whom he had previously vanquished, climb to the top of boxing while battling the indications of his former glory. Ali's final fights in the late 1970s and early 1980s against opponents such as Larry Holmes and Trevor Berbick were unpleasant to watch. These battles underlined his dramatic shift from the living, confident fighter of his youth to a more fragile version of himself, striving to keep up in a rapidly evolving sport. The contrast was startling and often unpleasant for fans who had grown to respect him. His 1980 fight with Holmes was particularly concerning. Ali entered the arena as a shadow of his former self, with weaker reflexes and footwork. Holmes, a younger and more formidable opponent, dominated the fight, making the spectators anxious as they saw their hero suffer severe punishment. The fight lasted 10 rounds, with Holmes winning by TKO, but not before the crowd saw Ali's mental and physical toll. During battles like this, fans and commentators alike began to wonder whether Ali's drive to fight again arose from a love of the sport or a refusal to turn over his title as the greatest. The decline of Ali's health did not diminish his determination to fight it, rather strengthened it. His identity as a champion was inseparably linked with his self-worth, and leaving the ring was a terrifying disclosure for someone who had been the center of attention for so long. The struggle was both internal and external, exhibiting a level of complexity rarely seen in sportsmen. While many competitors retired as their bodies began to fail, Ali struggled with sentiments of invincibility developed during his peak, forcing him to confront younger, modernized fighters in a fight he could no longer win. During the decline, Ali's public persona changed as the man who previously relished in the spotlight became more thoughtful. He tried to reconcile being a living legend with serious physical constraints. His charm, which had shown millions in the past, gave way to a quieter resilience as he became a cultural ambassador after retiring. Even as he battled Parkinson's disease, Ali maintained a presence that motivated people to advocate for a variety of causes, including civil rights and health awareness. This change from a rowdy warrior to a vulnerable human being struck a fire with fans and communities throughout the world, providing a more in-depth understanding of the man behind the fists. Finally, Muhammad Ali's fall was a multidimensional story, mixed with themes of hardship, resilience, and identity. His narrative is a strong reminder of the division of fame. It can move people to new heights while surprising them with the weight of their legacy. As Ali moved from the highs of championship triumph to the dark realities of his fighting career, he became a symbol of the costs of reaching greatness, a story that continues to resonate as new generations of sportsmen emerge. The deterioration of Ali's career highlights a fact that many athletes face: the fragility of human health in the never-ending pursuit the immense effects of courage, integrity, and compassion. He remained an experienced presence, showing that while champions may fade from sports, their legacy can inspire others to continue fighting for justice. He evolved from the standard champion, characterized by wins and defeats, to a multidimensional figure who expressed the hardships and battles faced in the human experience. His legacy expanded beyond gold medals and heavyweight crowns to include his humanity. When the world said goodbye to Muhammad Ali in June 2016, it did so with gratitude for a brave life that demonstrated the immense effects of courage, integrity, and compassion. He remained an experienced presence, showing that while champions may fade from sports, their legacy can inspire others to continue fighting for justice, understanding, and human decency.